Hello everybody, welcome to your tarot of the month. We are already June 2020, who'd have thought? And we are headed into a month of a lot of astrological activity, meaning we have 2 eclipses this month and we have Mercury retrograde. Yeah. So June is going to have a mishmash of emotion to it, and we're going to take a look with the cards first what we're going to see for this month for you. So first of all, I am going to burn my sage, and because it's a big month, I'm going to do a prediction for each sign, which I haven't done in a while, all in one video, and I will tag the times below so that you know at what point your sign prediction begins, okay? So lots of sage to cleanse us, please. Purify and cleanse anything in, on, and around us, because we're heading into a big month. Now, also, smudging the cards, very important to smudge and cleanse the objects that you use. All right, I think we're good. So for the first part is going to be the general reading for everybody, okay, like I usually do. Then if you want to click on the extended reading, I'm going to put up a little image once we get to the extended that'll say please go to Patreon. Patreon is where you can hear any of my extended videos. And then I'm going to do the full video with the 12 signs for you for this month, because it's just such a big month. We still have Venus retrograde in Gemini as well, and I think people are feeling it because there's a lot of relationship shifting going on that I've noticed for everyone. And it would be normal under Venus in Gemini because it's very social and very sort of chameleon-like and knows how to sort of get along and with anybody and be what anybody or everybody wants you to be. But at the same time, if it's retrograde, it's sort of saying like step back and pull back and let's get real. Let's make sure you really do feel what you feel, mean what you mean, say what you say what you mean. Make sure you're being honest about your feelings about certain relationships, past and present, because the retrograde brings up the past. So some of you might be having lovers return from the past, or friends, people connect with you out of nowhere that you haven't heard from. Some of you, it might not play out that they actually call you or want to see you again or want you back. Sometimes it might be that they cross your mind, or you're dreaming of them all the time. Some of you might just really be making closure or forgiveness on a past relationship. You might just have insight as to deeper aspects of what was going on for you. And that doesn't always mean love relationships either, by the way. It can also be, siblings. It can also be friendships, any co-workers, if it was intense enough, like just anybody that you were in relation to, that you were close to or thought you were, and you're revisiting what the truth of that connection really was about. So that is still going on for all of June. It's Venus is retrograde until the 25th of June and continues to have an effect on us until about August. So that's on top of the eclipses. Okay, and then Mercury retrograde is going to come in there and just like, no one's going to know what the hell to say to anybody. Okay, all right, so let's first start off with our first 3 cards for the month of June 2020. Alrighty, our first card, oh, look at that. Look at that, the Fool. The Fool is the first card in the deck. And the Fool is our first card for June. Okay. So, if the Fool is our first card, then this is a major message. Start a new chapter, my friends. Heed the call to action. The Fool has been called or compelled to step outside his comfort zone and do something brand new. And some people will say he's crazy, and some will say he's naive, and others will think he's a genius. And maybe a lot of people won't know which he is because he's doing something different or unconventional or something that was not expected or something that is taboo for him to do. We're not talking about just being rebellious and doing something rebellious for the sake of it or being stupid. The Fool is like a departure from the past. It's like, it's a vision of how you see life, how you could see a new life unfold, and doing something about it. So like for me, let's say, when we're allowed to travel again, I'm pretty clear that I want to spend extra time visiting country that I got to go to and I loved, and I realize I want to go spend more time there. It's not just a one-off vacation. So for me, the Fool card would be like, plan it, make it happen, decide it, let it happen, do it, do it. Go find a way to travel for an extended time. So that's the Fool. So you have to think, what is the Fool for you? What are you being called or compelled to do that is brand new, that is a vision for the future? So that's a beautiful, surprising card for eclipses and retrogrades. So the eclipses could make you feel enough internal pressure to just say fuck it and go do something new with your life. Our second card, interesting. Second card is the Ten of Wands. You can't get a more opposite energy than that. Ten of Wands says oppression. Saturn and Sagittarius. Something is restricting your freedom. In this case, you know, Saturn and Sagittarius certainly is keeping planes on the ground and restricting travel, but it's restricting freedom and movement in other ways. The thing is, the Ten of Wands oppression card means that something is hitting bottom, something has hit the worst of what it could be. So I would say, given the fact that the Fool is here as our first card, plus this, it's more a case of, what have you just had enough of? Enough of a certain pattern, enough of being treated a certain way, enough of not working in something that you enjoy, enough of toxic relationships, enough. Oppression means we've let things go so far. Feeling miserable, oh well, can't get any better, oh well, what can you do about it, oh well. Being a victim, you have to say enough's enough. The oppression card is all these, it's like a cage with fire behind it. You're about to burst if you don't change. So again, this makes more sense with eclipses because they'll bring up a catalytic change inside of you, and it's really time to let yourself overcome whatever fear there is and overcome this oppression card. Let's see what comes next. So the third card here is Eight of Swords, interference. Jupiter and Gemini. Jupiter and Gemini. This card, look at this. Too many swords go in too many directions, too many kinds of swords. All this purpley red, bloody kind of feeling about it. This is a card of too many plans, too many ideas, too many people talking, too much analysis, too many options have now caused you to shut down mentally. Too much overthinking, criticism have caused you to mentally shut down. So when I see the Eight of Swords after the Ten of Wands and the Fool, I know that you must make a change, and you're going to feel bloody terrified to do it. And you're going to start overthinking it. You're going to get like a high of like, oh my God, I want to do, just like I said, oh my God, I want to go live abroad for a little while. And then 10 of Wands will come in and go, oh, well, I can't. Now I have to wait because it's going to be hard to travel, or it's going to be too expensive, or nobody's flying right now, or it's going to be scary if I... And then you start to go, oh, maybe this, maybe if I that, maybe if I that. And then you start to get anxious. Oh, what are they going to think? What are they going to think? How am I going to figure this out with that aspect? How am I going to figure... And you'll shut yourself down from your dream if you stay stuck in these cards. So I don't do this on purpose. Honest to God, I don't pull these cards, and no, I have no idea what they are until right now when I'm doing the video. But these are our 3 cards. This is our message overall for June. If you want to see the extended reading, I'm going to pull 6 more cards as to where this goes. But otherwise, your main message for June is let yourself experience the desire for a brand new life and have a vision of what it could be, and overcome your inner resistance and fear, and start making a plan and believe, let yourself believe that it can happen. You might want to check the bottom, the comments, the description below, and I will have the times that each sign starts the reading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 1 card and 1 gemstone for each sign, and I'm going to frame it as, you know, just what do you need to focus on right now to make the most of the energy for June. Alrighty, so first we're going to start with, of course, Aries. Sorry, I'm just going to pull a few more varieties of my gemstones so I have all of them in front of me, because I've got a whole bunch. All right. Okay. All right, Aries, here we go. So, what's the best way for you to make use of the energy for your best potential in June? All right. So Aries, your card is sort of an Aries card. It's a fire card, the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is, as you can see, very dynamic, forceful, charging in on his steed, with his wand of fire. It's like he will come to rescue you. He will come charge down the door of your castle. You know, he will run the marathon or climb Mount Everest. This guy has enough energy for 10. So that can be a message in a few ways. Either you know somebody like this, and maybe they are instrumental to you, helping you in some way, guiding you, inspiring you. Doesn't have to be someone you know. It could be someone you look up to as a role model who has that kind of energy. That might help you mentally and emotionally get through all of the ups and downs of the eclipses. It could also be a sign for you to have that energy yourself, kick into gear, use your Aries fire to kick your own ass and start doing things, whether that's exercising, whether that's anything you want to do where you are just completely strong-willed and on fire. And for some of you, this could be a person who is coming into your life literally. And he might, he could be awesome, or he could be too much, overbearing, because this King of Wands can also sometimes be a narcissist. So his main thing is, in his best aspect, is he employs his full will and drive to whatever he wants. It doesn't say whether he wants something good or bad. It just says he has the will to get what he wants. So just assess yourself or people around or your role models. Try to tap into the fire of that will, but ask also to what end, and make sure that it's not overbearing or narcissistic. Now, I'm going to pull a gemstone for you. And for some reason, I am attracted to this one for you, Aries. So this, can you see? This is a jade. This beautiful green jade. Jade is for the heart. So jade is also good for luck and for money. If you want to read up more on jade, you know, there's a longer description of qualities. But jade has been used for centuries, especially by the Chinese, for healing properties and for luck with money. But also, because it's green, we're talking about the heart chakra. So the King of Wands with the heart chakra stone is interesting. Once again, it's just saying to double check that wherever your will and drive are coming from, make sure that it's coming from your heart, not from the ego. And you're good to go. Full steam ahead. All right, Taurus, here we go. So, how can you make the best use of the energy in June? Taurus, your card is the Nine of Wands, the Strength card. Sun in Sagittarius. So this would mean that your best expression this month is to consolidate yourself in whatever activities, surroundings, environments, skills, whatever brings you that sense of strength, of staying on top of things. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling inundated or overwhelmed or letting things get to be too crazy. The Nine of Wands, you can see this main wand, the sun at the top and the wand in the front with the moon at the bottom. It's consolidating and sort of keeping the others in place and in check. So it can also be a card that shows some leadership. With the sun and the moon in Sagittarius, there's a great need for freedom and for staying informed and global and worldly, and there's a desire or fascination for things that are multicultural or exotic sometimes with Sag. Or it can also just mean Sagittarius is sort of in pursuit of the truth, and they will tell you so. So again, if this is related to other people or work, whether it's your household or whether it's even just keeping on top of facts and studies and the news and whatever it is, it's sort of saying that for you to do well this month with the eclipse roller coaster energy we're going through, plus Uranus hitting your sign, figure out whatever places, people, things you like to do that give you the best sense of strength and feeling like I'm on top of it. I'm in charge. Not over others, but I'm in charge and I'm on top of my own stuff. And you will do fine. So I'm going to pull a gemstone for you. And I'm feeling really strongly this one here for you. This is Labradorite. Let me try to bring it closer. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So Labradorite is, I find, a very calming stone. The spiritual aspect of Labradorite is actually that it helps marry the physical, emotional, ethereal, spiritual, mental bodies that are all around us, and integrate those into ourselves. So I was attracted to this stone many, many years ago when I started doing readings in a spiritual store. And I wore a giant Labradorite for years, every day, because I needed it. And I would say it helped with integrating an overload of information and energy from everywhere. It helped me to stay centered in myself while still allowing myself to absorb and integrate new information or new energy. So that seems to be in line also with the card. So if you're attracted to any of these stones, there's plenty of places online to order them and find them. All right? All right, Gemini, here we go. Just shuffling. All right, so how can you, Gemini, make you the best use of the energy in the month of June? And it'll be your birthday for many of you. Happy birthday. So your card is the Princess of Wands. Sorry, discs, Princess of Discs. So as you can see, she is quite beautiful. She's got sort of a semi-translucent robe or beautiful dress. She's got a fur robe around her that goes all the way down and covers the ground, and her wand is pointing downwards towards the earth. She's surrounded by all these branches, and she's carrying a sphere, like a disc almost of, we don't know exactly, it could be something, but it looks like her personal power spot or something magical almost. And then she's got her horns, which are quite thick, and they're pointing a bit out to the side. She's looking downwards at the ground. Princess of Discs is very down to earth, and she's wise beyond her years. And she stays connected to nature. She doesn't get all tangled up in the branches and the trees behind her. But she does look very protected, doesn't she? So, to me, if it's saying, like, what would be the best way for Gemini to ride through the month of June, it looks to me like you still want to be a bit introvert in your introvert like quarantine side. Even though you're social, it looks like you want to be very not isolated. Some of you might still want to be isolated, but or alone, but it's more looking like you want to feel safe and protected and stay amongst only the places or people you choose. And also it's saying, like, to increase your connection to nature somehow. So, you know, maybe you're that person who's getting up really early to go walking outside so that you're alone in the neighborhood in a park with trees. So you're protecting your exposure, but you're also getting outside. This also is a message to, like, take a look at practical aspects of your life, whether it's your finances or organizing stuff. It's more of a Taurus kind of card, you know, than a Gemini card. So it basically is saying, like, do what you've got to do to stay grounded and to feel a sense of being protected. Not being paranoid and isolated, just protected, you know, because she knows how to stay, like, look at her. She's standing very strong and nothing can touch her. She is free to do whatever she wants in her space and no one's going to bother her. And so for you, you probably need a little bit of that as well in order to stay good with how roller coaster, shifting, twist and turn, how much, you know, the drama that's going to be in the air with everybody else. Yeah, consolidate, stay home or stay in your safe spots with your safe people, and get in touch with staying grounded as possible. So I'm going to pull a stone for you. Let's see. Well, I'm feeling this moonstone for you. If you can see it. Hope you can see how nice it is. You see? Isn't that a beautiful one? And look, it even has sort of a line down the middle, like a duality to it. The moonstone is like a feminine energy stone. So it helps you open your emotional side. It helps with your intuitive abilities as well. It's very calming. The moonstone, you know, to me also talks about like your sleep cycles and your, if you're female, your menstrual cycles and your the emotional cycles that you go through. This would be, to me, a message if you want to use this moonstone in your life right now of, again, connecting deeper inward, doing things that help you stay calm, emotionally calm, whatever that means, whatever that takes. And the moonstone sort of brings this beautiful, brings this beautiful glow. Maybe you like the nighttime. Maybe there's something shifting with the way you're sleeping, with your dream life. The moonstone's very inner energy. So you would need to bring more of this feminine, inward vibe to help you this month. That's in the cards and your stone. All right. Let's take a look for you now, Cancer. And Cancers, it'll be your birthday at the end of the month too, so happy birthday. I can smell the lilacs coming in through the breeze. I just love this time of year for that. Cancer. All right, I gotta mix them again because I was distracted by the lilac smell, was not focusing. So maybe that's a message right there. Cancers, are you getting distracted and spaced out and can't focus? Because that doesn't happen very often in my readings. Okie doke. All right, Cancer, here we go. Your card is the Four of Swords. All right, Four of Swords, Jupiter in Libra. So we see all of the crazy lines and the blue going on, the blue and the yellow all going around the outsides. And then we see the four swords laid with their point in the middle of a white flower. We see the green around the sword. This is a card that says truce. So this is a card of making amends, sitting down and talking about it. Lots of discussions, lots of mental and physical, mental and social activity. That might be on a phone or online, but it's going to be busy for you, Cancer. You're going to be talk, chat, email, chat, talk some more. You might find that you are feeling compelled with all of this Venus retrograde stuff, maybe you feel like you want to reach out and see if there's a chance to repair an old relationship issue. You might be wanting to put out feelers and see if you can smooth things with family, or with an ex, or with a friend you haven't seen in forever, and just test the water and see. You might want to just know going forward, like, did I do everything I could do? If something really over, can something resume? Was something a big misunderstanding? Does somebody finally say sorry? Do you finally say sorry? That's the big feeling I'm getting for this card for the month. So expect lots of chatting and talking and emailing, and expect to get into some discussions about the past. It's Jupiter in Libra, so it doesn't like to be too deep, but it sure likes to talk about everything. Just make sure that you don't end up sucked up in a bunch of gossip with this card, because that's certainly one aspect of how this can play out too. You know, lots of talking but for nothing. Doesn't do anybody any good. So you want to use these times of sort of peace talks with the green in the middle. It means speak from the heart, not just blah, 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 and he said, and why, and whining and all that stuff. No, speak from the heart and try to actually clear some air, because as you can see, they've cleared space, and there's a beautiful flower in the middle, and it's a time when people can come back together and make amends and make peace. And that would be a lovely use of this time. So the eclipse might bring you suddenly an opportunity to do that. So which stone are we going for Cancer? For some reason, I am drawn to this one for you, Cancer. This is a beautiful clear quartz point. Now, this is the kind of clarity I'd like to see for you. Clear quartz is all about cleansing, purifying, not taking on any negativity that is not yours, purging old energy, old thoughts that are not yours. It's getting clean and clear with your own energy field. That means you've got a little bit of inner work to do. You know, as we mentioned, like maybe you're talking a lot, maybe you want to make amends, maybe you want to see, does this person still care? If I reach out, can we still be friends, or is it really over? You know, maybe you want to question somebody why they're acting like they're acting. Maybe you want to just clear things, and maybe you'll be ready to let them go if it doesn't work out, if you have yourself been coming from a clean and clear place. So you first need to get a little more clean and clarity before you open those doors to talk. Know where you're coming from and know what you want as a result. And then, just like this pointer, because it's a point, it has the ability to pierce and cast sort of not a spell, but a very pointed, clear intention. And so once you get to that level of clarity where you say, you know what, so-and-so, I'm sad that we have lost touch. I'm wondering how you feel about our relationship after all these years. Maybe you want to sit down and talk about it with me. Maybe for you it's done. I would like to just say this. I would like to know. Something like that. So, but first sit down and really get your own head clear, so that when you speak it, it is also like clean and clear from your mouth, okay? Whew. I just never know what's going to come up in these readings for science. Let's take a look now for Leos. All right, Leo, I am focusing on you and the best way to use the energy for this month. These double eclipses, retrogrades, Leo. That's crazy. I just pulled the same card as for Cancer. So I'm going to pull another one. All right, Leo. Okay, so your card is the Hanged Man. So you might feel right now that you're making a sacrifice. You might feel like you're sort of stuck like this guy. Maybe you're in suspension. Maybe you hate waiting for the world to open up again, or waiting to know what's going to happen with your plans or with something that you set in motion before COVID-19 came along, or maybe it's something else, but you feel like you're sort of hung and stuck and waiting. And the thing is, the hangman is hanging from, his foot is wrapped around by a snake, and he's hanging from an ankh, which is a symbol of the soul. And above the line of the horizon there, where the blue sort of blocky pattern is, his foot is just above it with the snake and the ankh. He is in suspension and waiting and stuck for a reason. He is going to go through some sort of profound change, or a moment you could call enlightenment. He's going to a higher level. And he does that by facing his dark thoughts. As you see, under his head, there's a dark pool and a snake inside. He's dealing with his own shadow. He's in suspension, or things are not moving, because he needs to go within and look at his dark side, his negative side, his, you know, and we all have it. And he's got to make peace with it, or he's going to be in this sort of slow, day by day, nothing feels like it's changing, don't know what I'm supposed to do, don't know how to get out of this kind of feeling. He has to go within and confront himself to get there. And then, as you see, above the block pattern are beautiful sea foamy green colors, and almost like feathery flags or whatever flying, blowing. There's a beautiful, peaceful, calm, serene place waiting for him once he does some of this inner work. Yeah. So Leo, these planets, you know, these eclipses are happening, and the retrograde of Mercury and Venus are probably making you feel like it's put a damper on you that you don't like. And you'll have to figure out what is it that's bothering you the most about this. And if you are in a situation that seems to be ongoing, that you can't figure out how to get out of, you haven't been looking enough within or deeper at yourself. And that's what you've got to do to get out of it. It's not external. It's not waiting for other people, or when this happens outside of me or outside of that. It's going to change when you go inside and you go, oh, this is why I'm like that. Oh, wow, that's a pattern. That's a parallel with... That's the kind of level of inner change that's going to bring about the external change. So let's pull a gemstone for Leo now. And right away I'm getting Tiger's Eye here, okay? Tiger's Eye is your stone. Can you see it? It's beautiful, sort of brownish, yellowy black. So Tiger's Eye is a very earthy kind of stone. As you can sort of see, there's a shimmer to it, you know. There's all of these lines, and then you get the right spot, and it They disappear and it looks gold. And then you bring it back and there's all these beautiful lines again. There's a bit of an illusion of this stone, you know, the way it is, like just like an eye. It flashes at you. It might be talking about your animalistic side with the tiger and the tiger's eye. I wonder whether your passions are leading you into problems. Whether your animal, your wild, your spontaneous, free, raw, lusty side is leading you into problems. And it would sort of say, like, we all have that side. Maybe that's the shadow side you're looking at. Not that it's bad, but it just, how do you tame your tiger a little bit? Yeah, I'm going to leave you off on that. How do you tame your inner tiger a little bit? Okay. I like that. I like that message. Okay. We're going to look now at Virgo. So I'm just going to shuffle them really well for Virgo. If I have any more stones around. Yeah, okay. Virgo. So your card, oh my God, again, some of the cards that are repeating, it's incredible. This is the third time I picked this card. Okay, you also have the Nine of Wands, so it's similar to Taurus. I wonder if our earth signs are going to feel extremely overwhelmed this month, because that's 2 earth signs getting the Nine of Wands. So if you want to go back and take a look at the Taurus reading, it might just add something to it. But for Virgo, I'll say, you know, Sagittarius is this card. You can see Sun, Moon, and Sagittarius. They aren't your matching sign, you know. Sag is all about being spontaneous, winging it, not planning anything, saying what they feel when they feel like it, not worrying if it offends people. You know, being a bit gutsy, a bit bold. They like to travel. They like to know everything that's going on all over the globe. Virgo, you like things a little more orderly, organized. And this is, ironically, if you look at the card, very organized looking. You know, there's a central wand with the sun and the moon. And it's not oppressing or suppressing. It's sort of just keeping them in an order or in a place. So it would also say to you that if you want to ride through 2 eclipses and a Mercury and Venus retrograde this month, order. Keep things, we're not talking about perfection or being OCD. We're talking about establishing a certain level or bare minimum, you know, or comfort zone of orderliness and organization that makes you feel, again, this wand is just keeping it together. It's on top of things. It's in charge. I got it. I'm on top of it. That's what this card feels like. So this card doesn't apply, you know, when it comes to people or being bombarded on the news or on social media or whatever's going on with all of those wands behind it. But you do have control over it when it comes to your own space, environment, your supplies, your shopping, your closets, I don't know, whatever it is you're trying to work on. Keep your sense of how much you open your life up to let new things back in or the old things back in. Keep a feeling of, I'm on top of things, I'm in charge of things. Make yourself feel as secure as you possibly can. Don't overwhelm yourself or spread yourself too thin or open things up too quickly if you don't feel good about it. This is a card of strength, feeling like, I got this. I'm on top of it. So whatever you need to do to get there, Now I'm going to pick a stone for you. So, I'm attracted to this. It's not a stone, it's something else that I have here. This is Kuan Yin. Can you see her? And Kuan Yin is like, as someone told me, a Chinese Virgin Mary. Kuan Yin hears people's needs and comes. This is basically a message of helping people when you can, if you feel comfortable with it. This is also a message of maintaining your attitude of compassion towards everybody and towards yourself, and to spread the message of compassion for everybody, not just to protect yourself and isolate and stay away from and tune everything out, focusing only on your little bubble. This is like, even if it's just a matter of what you say on your Instagram page, make sure you maintain this message of compassion. And make sure that you maintain that compassion for yourself too. So if you're not sure what that means or how to do that, it's a longer topic, but essentially it would mean recognizing, saying to yourself, okay, this is what people want from me, or this is what I feel is required from me, but for right now it's too much, so I have compassion for myself, and I'm going to not go outside, or I'm going to not say yes to X or Y or Z, or I'm going to take care of myself, because I also deserve to be comfortable, even if things are being asked of me. That's sort of self-compassion. One example. All right? So now we're going to go to Libra. Okay, Libra. How do we make the best use of the double eclipses, the Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde month of June? All right, I'm going to shuffle really well here. So Libra, your card is the Fool. Haha. Just like we started off with in our general reading. So Libra, are you feeling the call to action? Are you seeing a new view of what your life could be? Are you getting flashes of things you'd like to try? Things you'd like to join? Places you'd like to go? Changes that you want to make to your work or your business? Are you getting feelings that you want to bust out and do something different, and it might, or not do something and say no, but that it might rock the boat a little bit if you do, but you feel compelled or called to do it anyway? If you're getting anything of that nature, you follow it this month. This is a month to let things fall apart if they're falling apart, and let yourself do something new. Let yourself take some risk and have some faith in something different for yourself. That is the Fool, the call to action. So let's pick a card, pick a stone for Libra. Well, what I'm called to here is, believe it or not, this huge salt lamp. Okay, salt. You can get these salt lamps any place, as you can see. You know, mine's a little I've been using it for years, but you see where the candle goes? The salt absorbs the negative ions in the atmosphere. It cleanses and it calms. And I'm getting a feeling, if I'm drawn to a giant rock of salt for you, that it's really a time where you've got to purge and cleanse some shit in your life. I think it's time to like go through. It's not your physical stuff. It's not clutter in your kitchen or your closet. It's toxicity that you've allowed around you for too long. So we're talking about looking at friends and family and spouse and kids, and we're talking about looking at, you know, any kind of burdensome, toxic, old dynamics that you've got. Even if you're maintaining it with just like, oh, hey, so-and-so, yeah, how are you doing? Oh, how's your dog? And then you walk away going, oh, God, I'm so tired of talking to this person. That is toxicity. You know, it seems harmless. Libra, of course, you're charming and you're diplomatic with everyone and friendly to everyone. But honest to God, is it really adding to your life to have one more sort of strained, fake interaction with someone if you don't really feel it? Isn't it taking energy away from you, from yourself, from time with yourself, or from having a better level of connection or conversation with people you do enjoy? So think about that this month. Maybe your eclipse is going to just clear away some of the toxic connections or dynamics. You know, probably nobody major. Like, if it's major, then it's probably family, okay? And if it's not, then it's inconsequential, you know, whether you click like every day on somebody's post or you just go, I'm too tired, it doesn't matter. You know, your connection with somebody has to be deeper than all of that work, you know, to know that this is a real connection. You shouldn't have to work so hard on it. Okay? Anyway, this is what's coming through really strong, so that's why I'm saying it. But you can find these salt lamps really easily. So you might want to get yourself one. And they're nice when they've got the candle. There's some that are like actually a lamp with a light bulb inside. The candle ones are nice, and they'll calm the entire room. So calming your nerves and letting go of any toxic dynamics. And we're talking work as well. Like, how many times do you walk into work and you feel like you have to have a certain shallow conversation just because it seems like the polite thing to do? Sometimes both people are relieved when you just say hi. That's it. And stop forcing it, you know? That's just toxic energy for you. All right. Oh, I just got another beautiful whiff of lilac coming through the window. I just love it. What's with the lilac smell every time I get to a water sign? It happened in Cancer, and now it's happening in Scorpio, and I'm smelling the lilacs. Well, hopefully that's a sign of sweetness to come for Scorpios and Cancers. We'll see if it happens again in Pisces. I'll be watching for it now. All right, Scorpio, here we go. Shuffling your cards. All right, Scorpio, so your card is Lust. I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. This is actually the Strength card, but in the Thoth or Crawley deck, he calls it Lust. So as you can see, she's riding this multiple-headed lion. This is the whore of Babylon. Yep. She is laying back, her hair is flowing. You know, she's got one hand on the reins, though. So she is still in charge of where this multiple-headed lion figure is going. But she's still laying back and riding it and enjoying herself. She's also reaching up and sort of touching this, sort of this essence, passion or essence, energy from the universe. Above the horizon line, where you see the yellow line and the turquoisey blue, are all symbols around there, and they're all surrounded by snakes. And so She is a very strong, potent card because she's talking about basically divine feminine sexuality. This whole thing that we have with, you know, women are either pure and motherly and like a Madonna, or they're in touch with their sexuality, and then they're whores, and then they're not worth as much. And this card, believe it or not, is saying, no. She is actually in touch with her divine self more through her sexual desire than she is by abstaining and denying it. So this is a card, lust. This is a card of passion. But we're not just talking about sexual passion or being horny. We're talking about a lust for life, a passion for life, feeling on fire and alive. So I would say you will enjoy this eclipse season. You will enjoy the passion and the intensity and that comes with this eclipse season, because you understand that tapping into that sort of chaos magic, when everything's just messy and intense and nobody knows what's going on, you know, and she knows that there's something really alive in that, because anything can happen during that time, and you can make anything happen during that time. And we're just getting a storm blowing in just as I'm saying this for you, so holy shit. Yeah, I gotta close the windows. Scorpio. I love it. Okay. All right, let's pick a stone for you, Scorpio. All right, well, I'm drawn to this one. This is, it looks like onyx, but it's not. It's a polished tourmaline. A tourmaline has been shown to be one of the only stones that can block out electromagnetic frequencies. And it's basically, when you get a black stone, it's used for cleansing and absorbing any negativity that's around you, whether that's, you know, sort of dirty electricity to lingering crappy moods that have been in the house, you know, bad states of mind, people that you had to deal with that you're like, now you can try to cleanse them. So I would suggest anybody get a tourmaline because of the EMF factor. But I would suggest getting tourmaline to just cleanse any negative energy in and around you. So you might want to just, when you buy it, you should cover it in salt for a couple of days and make sure it's really clean. And then just lay it out somewhere and let it do its magic. And if you want to put it near your computer or your cell phone, it can help absorb some of the electromagnetic frequency. But overall, Scorpio, I get a really good feeling that June is going to bring you some interesting electric kind of energy. I mean, the storm just blew in as soon as we started talking about you. So, but I feel like alive in the storm. Like, that's a very strength or lust card kind of thing. If you feel alive during thunderstorms, like you love that energy, that's a lust card. Okay, Sagittarius. Oh, and I just see my flowers blew across the road. Shit. Well, I'll go get it. I'll go get it later. Okay, well, maybe that's a message for you, Sagittarius, too. Something blown away. Okay. Sagittarius, here is your card. 7 of Cups. Yeah. Seven of Cups is not an easy card. Alrighty. I just have to say it, Sag. You've been, it's time to clean up your act somehow. Cleaning up your sexual life, your emotional life, your affairs, or multiple things that are left dangling, things that are bad money exchanges, not getting paid properly for something, not paying your debts properly, leaving, you know, ghosting somebody or letting things just be covert and not said. This is a card usually that can talk about addiction. Definitely this card looks like a virus. So anything health-wise, you got to take care of it this month. And I don't necessarily mean COVID. This could be anything. Like, just don't leave your health hanging. Clean it up. This can be a message to stop eating crap, to stop drinking, smoking so much, whatever it is you're doing. If it's sexually related, excuse me, you've got to clean up your life with people that you're dating. If this is a multiple dating kind of thing you're doing, if anybody's out there cheating, well, this is the card of cheating. This is the card of affairs, STDs. This is a card of, like I said, viruses, nasty shit that happens, alcoholism, drug addiction, mentally not doing, you know, the moods. The thinking and the emotions are not clear. The body is not clean and clear. You're gonna have to clean up your act this month, Sag. Sorry, but you know, you've got an eclipse happening in your relationship house of Sagittarius. Of Gemini. The full moon's the full moon eclipse is in Sag, so touching you, but it's also in, you know, Sun is in Gemini, so it activates your relationships. And then there's another eclipse in Cancer, which is also like your 8th house, which is like you've got to go deeper and you've got to figure out and clean up your money. So, yeah, well, I'm hoping that you don't feel discouraged by this message. I'm hoping that you're listening to this going, yeah, shit, she's probably right. I got to do that. Well, this month, double eclipse and retrogrades, it's time. So, picking a stone for Sagittarius. Let's see. Well, I am drawn to this giant carnelian. Isn't it gorgeous? This is from Madagascar. Carnelian is related to the sacral chakra, which is the orange chakra, which is sex and money. It's also boundaries. And this carnelian is also good for courage. And so I would say, because it's such a big one, it's cleansing your sacral chakra. You might want to wear some orange. You might want to eat some things that are orange. You might want to do some yoga poses that are related to that chakra. You can find that online. You might want to just find some YouTube music that's chanting the right tones to help balance the sacral chakra. So this is your main message, like it's glaring, boom, 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 balance your sexual money chakra, Sagittarius, okay? Okay. It can be done, don't be discouraged. It will change your life dramatically when you do, dramatically, okay? All right, now we're going into Capricorn. And we're in a full-on rainstorm right now. Can you see? It's sort of hard to see. Anyway, it's raining pretty hard. Okie dokie. So Capricorn, here we go, here we go. Your card is the Eight of Cups. Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces feels cynical. Why bother? What's it all for? No one cares anyway. Why am I trying? Why am I working so hard? Feeling alone in the world, not feeling the connection to everyone or to the one. You've got to go within this month and find that connection that brings you back to feeling that you are part of the whole, that we are all part of one world, one universe, that you are not alone. Even when you want to be alone, because sometimes, you know, Capricorns sure do, you'll try to find a way to be all alone, and you'll find that there's some dog barking in the background, or there's somebody, some chainsaw down the road, or there's some bird knocking his head against your window, and you realize, like, you can never be completely alone. And that's the good thing, is realizing you're not alone. So Saturn in Pisces and Eight of Cups means you're feeling like you want to just give up on something or someone. And before you do, you might need to. You've got a lot of planetary movement in Capricorn in your sign. You've got Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all in Capricorn, emphasizing dramatic changes you want to make. So you may need to let yourself get really down so that you finally say goodbye and let go of something, or move on or move away or whatever it is. Because there's a function to letting yourself feel like you want to just give up before there's a breakthrough of a decision. And then there's like a rebirth after the decision. But if you're feeling just depressed, dark and down and lonely and isolated and no one cares, and you don't feel that there's a sense of a decision or a movement or a good thing coming from it, then you might need to reach out for some help, if it's that bad. Otherwise, I would say you've got to find the things in life that make you remember that you are not alone. You are never alone. So we're going to pull a gemstone for you now. And I am drawn to this big moonstone. Isn't she beautiful? I love this one. Look at that. It's an egg, but it looks almost like a globe, doesn't it? Look how beautiful that is. I want you to remember the motherly energy of the moonstone, the feminine energy, the intuition that you have, the dreams that you get, the psychic connection that you have to others. Whether they're calling you every day to say hi or not, you have a connection to them, and you always will. Think back to your mother, to her mother. The way that you're connected through the womb, through your DNA, the way that you're connected to anything and anyone that you see that's living around you, whether that's the cat next door, trees, neighbors. Even if you're feeling a bit lonely, you're not alone, because you've got people around. There's energy all around you from everyone. and you're interacting with it. And if you remember with the Moonstone to think about that level of reality, then you'll never feel alone again. Because there's always something that you're interacting with. And there's always a psychic, intuitive, emotional, energetic connection that doesn't die. So, you might want to get yourself some Moonstone. All right, so we're at Aquarius now. Gonna clean the deck a little bit before we do Aquarius. Okay, and it's raining like hell here. I like it though, I sort of like it. Although it's a bit cold, the rain. It was such a heat wave for a few days, and now it's just like, oh my God, we're back in this cold rain. Oh, this is going to be, I think this is just a sign of what's coming for June, with how flip-flop, shifting, revolving door, roller coaster, eclipses. All right, Aquarius, let's pull a card for you this month now. So your card is the Five of Wands. As you can even see, the card's a bit ripped up because they've been used so long. Take a look closer, you see it says strife. And if you can sort of see on the card, on the wand at the top, you see Saturn and Leo. This is a card of arguing, of fights and arguments, and this is a card of like too many cooks in the kitchen, sort of a pissing contest between people's egos. Everybody feels like they've got the right way. And there's a lot of vying for and one-upping and competing with whoever's gets to be on top and in charge. So there could be a lot of struggle or strife going on around your workplace, or the co-workers. This could be in your family too. But for some reason I feel it's more like not direct family, but like co-workers or like social circles. Like it's a bit removed from family, but still you're around them a lot. And I would advise that you don't get into so many arguments, but you're an Aquarius, so you're going to want to. You're going to want to. You're going to want to debate everything. You're going to want to set people straight or get into it with them. So, I mean, if you do, just remember, you're choosing this. You're choosing that stress. And if you don't genuinely want the stress, then you're going to have to zip it and just let other people duke it out and see what happens. If not, and you want to be right in there arguing with them, then you're going to be part of the strife. And, maybe you're picking your battles and this one is worth picking the battle, But if it's just like BS online arguing over the news, or if it's not relevant to your future or somebody else's health or safety, then you might want to opt out, because there's going to be a lot of that this month. Yeah. And in your personal life, if it's not, sort of, because this is sort of more a group of people, like, that's why I say work or social circles, because it's sort of like a cluster of people duking it out. If this applies in your personal life, you can expect that you might have an argument with somebody close to you. And my feeling is that if you do, it's long overdue. Whatever you needed to say, it's long overdue. And so in that case, I do encourage you to express yourself and maybe get mad. Because I know a bunch of Aquarians, and this card makes sense to me from what I see, that there's a need to stand up towards unclear or not respectful situations in their personal lives. So that would be a message that might be coming. Let's pull a stone for you, Aquarius. Let's see now. Yeah, I'm attracted to this little guy over here. Sorry, it took me a second. I've got so many gems in here. This one's really tiny, so I'll hold it up. This is blue lace agate. Hopefully you can see how pretty the color is. Yeah, I'm trying to get the camera to refocus on it. It's sort of not. As you can see, there's sort of, it's like a powdery blue color with some white lines in it. Blue lace agate is a stone of like self-love and calming energy. It's also a stone that people wear for the throat chakra, which is all about saying the right thing at the right time to the right person with the right intensity. And this little blue stone calms people down. And so it calms the throat chakra, which means if you're prone to, let's say, raising your voice or being defensive or getting into arguments or feeling like you're trying to express yourself but you're not quite saying exactly what you wanted to say, and you err on the side of saying a lot versus a little, then you use blue lace agate. It will calm your self-expression, and so it doesn't mean you don't say anything, but it means when you do, it might be delivered more clearly and simply and calmly versus the arguing kind of card that we saw. So yeah, pick your battles. You might enjoy the battle, but pick your battles this month. All right, and Pisces. Here we go for Pisces. Let's shuffle. All right, Pisces. Okay, here is your card for the month. All right, we have the Five of Cups for you, Pisces. So it's a water card. It's Mars in Scorpio. And as you can see, there's 5 cups, but they're clean, but they're empty. And there's sort of a, as you can see, there's like almost a butterfly formation here, looping around the bottom cup. There's an inverted pentagram. So this is a dark card in a way. It says disappointment. Mars in Scorpio is known to be, you know, very magnetic and sexual and powerful, but also could be very covert, hiding things, manipulative, jealous, possessive. I'm going to say that with this card, you probably feel very disappointed and disillusioned or even betrayed at somebody, and you're processing an old hurt. And that might be, you know, more than one. That might be a life pattern, or that might be in relation to going back really far, like going back to your family of origin where you realize things might have started. So there's a need for some emotional healing this month for you. The butterfly is encouraging because it's at the bottom of this pentagram. So no matter how dark you think things have become or how dark and nasty you think people can be, the butterfly shows that there is transformation underneath those waters. There is a way out for things to go differently than they have before. And now all you have to do with this card is say, okay, I see this shadow of people, and I'm not going to close my eyes when I see it again. I'm going to walk away from this kind of behavior. And you will have learned your lesson, whatever lesson that is, and you will set yourself free from it for the future. So we're going to pull a card, a stone for you then, Pisces. The stone I'm drawn to for you here is this beautiful little amethyst. It's a tiny one. It's a very pretty one. Isn't that pretty? So the amethyst is your crown chakra, and it is to tell you to trust your higher guidance, to go back to your spiritual practices and your spiritual life, to not worry about dealing with other people's drama right now, to not try to fix or save or help anybody. Come back to what brings you peace and brings you to your center with your spiritual life, with your own beliefs, whatever that is, and to trust that your higher guidance is, and your spirit guides and your higher guidance is going to come through when you calm your mind. But right now, I'd definitely say it's time to let go, say goodbye to things that aren't working for you, and detach from it, and not be so hard on yourself. You have learned a lot, and don't get down on yourself. Focus on what you now know going forward, and come back to whatever it is, your meditation, yoga, your walks in the woods, your art, your journals, your candles, other gemstones, church, whatever brings you back to your center. So that it's this month, it's about elevating yourself back into a higher vibration, because you've been in a low one, looking at everything and everyone, and you need to raise yourself back up again. All right, my friends, that concludes our astrology. If you want to reach me for a private reading, I'm available at river-rain.com, or Clairvoyant Medium Catherine Allen on Facebook, Catherine River Rain on Instagram. All right, have a good month.